Jamal Carter, a 14-year-old black boy, stands shaking in an Alabama courtroom, wrists cuffed as Judge Henry Caldwell slams the gavel, sentencing him to 5 years in juvenile detention for a theft he swears he didn't commit. His pleas drown in murmurs as deputies drag him off, but he thrusts a crumpled photo high, shouting, "Look at my family!" Caldwell freezes, stunned, as gasps erupt. What began as a normal day spirals into a racist story that could redefine Jamal's future. How did a bike ride home ignite this chaos? Before we dive in, tell us where you're watching from, and if you stand for justice, hit like and subscribe for more. 12 hours before Jamal Carter's life unraveled in that sweltering Alabama courtroom, he's pedaling his rusty bike through the dusty streets of Pine Hollow, a small town nestled in the heart of Baldwin County, where the air hangs heavy with the scent of pine and the faint tang of the cotton fields stretching out beyond the town's edge. The sun's dipping low, casting long shadows across the cracked pavement as the temperature slides down to a sticky 80 degrees Fahrenheit, a relief from the day's peak of 92 that had sweat dripping down his back all afternoon. He's 14, wiry and quick, with skin the color of rich earth and eyes that carry a quiet determination. His worn sneakers pump the pedals, patched jeans clinging to his legs as he weaves past crumbling shotgun houses and rusted pickups, parked haphazardly along Main Street. His mind on the $6 an hour he's just earned washing dishes at Dixie Diner, 2 miles from home. The diner's a greasy spoon at the edge of town, all chipped Formica counters and flickering neon, where he scrubs pots for Miss Ellie, a gray-haired widow who slips him extra biscuits when the boss ain't looking. It's not much, but it's enough to help his mom, Tanya, keep the lights on in their sagging trailer parked on a dirt lot off County Road 12, a place where the roof leaks when it rains and the propane tank's always half empty. Jamal's been at it since school let out 3 hours ago, his hands still pruned from dishwater, his thin t-shirt damp against his chest. He's got no time for ball games or fishing down at the creek like the other kids, not when Tanya's coughing fits keep her from her cleaning gigs, leaving him to pick up the slack for her and his little sister, Keisha, who's 8 and scared of the dark unless he's there to chase the shadows away. The bike's chain rattles, a clatter against the evening quiet, as he cuts through a shortcut behind the hardware store, a squat brick building with a faded sign that reads Pine Hollow Tools and Feed. He's 3 blocks from home, the trailer's tin roof glinting in the distance, when a sudden flash of red and blue light stabs through the dusk, freezing him mid-pedal, his breath catching as Sheriff Dale Pruitt's cruiser screeches to a halt 10 feet ahead, gravel spraying like buckshot across the pavement. Pruitt's a hulking figure, 6'3" and broad as a barn door, his buzz-cut head gleaming under the cruiser's spotlight, his khaki uniform stretched tight over a belly fed by too many diner burgers. He steps out, boots crunching, his pale blue eyes narrowing into slits as he sizes Jamal up like a hunter spotting prey, his thick drawl cutting the air. "Caught you, thief. Hardware store's missing tools," before Jamal can even blink. Jamal's heart slams against his ribs, his sneakers skidding as he drops the bike, hands up instinctive. He's done this dance before, knows the rules drilled into him since he was old enough to walk. Don't run, don't talk back, don't give him a reason. But his voice shakes. "I didn't take anything, Sheriff. I was at the diner. Ask Miss Ellie." Pruitt doesn't hesitate, doesn't listen. He lumbers forward, a meaty hand yanking Jamal off the bike by his collar, the rusted frame crashing to the dirt as the sheriff's knee slams into his back, pinning him face down in the dust, grit grinding into his cheek as he gasps, "I swear I didn't." The cuffs snap on, cold steel biting his wrists, drawing a thin line of blood where they pinch too tight. Pruitt's breath is hot and sour, tobacco-stained, as he leans close, snarling, "Your kind always does, boy. Don't matter what you..." Say the word boy landing like a fist, a racist hiss that's more accusation than name, a sound Jamal's heard too many times in this town, where Confederate flags still flutter on porches, and the diner's whites-only sign only came down when the feds forced it 20 years back. Jamal twists, his cheek scraping gravel, eyes wide as he spots the hardware store's back door swinging shut 50 yards off. No one's there, no witness, no tools, just Pruitt's lie pinning him like that knee. He chokes out, "Check my bag." Nothing's there. but Pruitt hauls him up, slamming him against the cruiser's hood, the metal searing hot from the day's sun, burning through his shirt as the sheriff rummages the backpack, finding only a cracked water bottle and Keisha's doodled homework sheet. Pruitt doesn't flinch, just tosses it aside, growling, "Don't need proof, you're guilty 'cause I say so," and shoves Jamal into the back seat, the door slamming with a clang that echoes down the empty street, louder than the key, cicadas humming in the pines. Jamal's head spins, dust coating his tongue as the cruiser lurches forward. He's no thief, just a kid biking home, but Pruitt's eyes in the rear view burn with a hate that's older than both of them, a hate that's already writing his fate in this racist story. A spark that's about to set Pine Hollow ablaze with a fury Jamal never saw coming. Jamal Carter sits slumped on a rusted metal bench in Pine Hollow's jail, the cold iron bars casting stripes across his hunched form as the stink of mildew and stale sweat chokes the air. The cell's a concrete box, 10 feet by 10, tucked. In the back of the sheriff's station, half a mile from where Sheriff Dale Pruitt yanked him off his bike an hour ago. The cuffs still biting into his wrists, blood crusting where the steel dug too deep under the Alabama dusk, now cooling to 78 degrees Fahrenheit outside. His thin frame shivers despite the clinging heat, his patched jeans gritty with road dust, his t-shirt torn at the shoulder from Pruitt's rough hands, his sneakers, scuffed and worn, kick at a loose pebble on the floor, every scrape a reminder of the freedom he's lost, his bike lying twisted in some ditch 3 blocks from home, where Pruitt left it like trash alongside his innocence. The station's a squat brick building off Main Street, its flickering fluorescent lights buzzing overhead, casting a sickly yellow glow that makes the shadows dance. Jamal's 14, small for his age, but his eyes carry a weight beyond his years, flickering with a mix of fear and defiance as he stares at the peeling paint, replaying Pruitt's racist growl, "Your kind always does," a slur that's branded him guilty before he could even speak. The cell door clangs and Pruitt strides in, his 6'3" bulk filling the frame, his buzz-cut head gleaming, his khaki uniform wrinkled from the day's sweat. He's clutching a clipboard, smirking as he flips a page, barking, "Got a witness? Saw a black kid skulking round the hardware store, fits you perfect." His voice a gravelly taunt, no name, no proof, just a lie spun from thin air to tighten the noose. Jamal's throat tightens, his voice cracking as he leans forward. "Ain't true, I was at the diner, Miss Ellie knows." But Pruitt slams the clipboard against the bars, the clang ringing in Jamal's ears like a gunshot, snarling, "Shut! Your word's dirt here," before turning to Deputy Roy Gaines, a wiry man with a patchy beard and a grin sharp as a razor, who saunters in carrying Jamal's backpack, the one Pruitt tossed aside empty on the road. Gaines dangles it, then pulls out a wrench, shiny, new stamped Pine Hollow tools, and drops it back in, chuckling, "Look what we found, Sheriff." Caught him red-handed now, his pale green eyes glinting with malice as he zips it shut, the metal clinking like a judge's gavel sealing Jamal's fate. Jamal lurches up, hands gripping the bars. "That ain't mine. You put it there." His shout echoes, but Pruitt just laughs, a deep, hollow sound. "Keep dreaming, boy. Judge Caldwell loves a good thief story," while Gaines leans close, whispering, "This'll stick. Ain't no one digging you out." His breath sour with coffee and spite, a promise of a racist story deepening its claws into Jamal's life. The station door slams open again, and Tanya Carter storms in, a wiry woman of 35 with tired brown eyes and a braid fraying from a long day scrubbing floors, her cleaning smock stained, her hands raw from bleach, but her voice cuts, sharp. "Jamal's innocent. He was working at the diner. Let him go." She's 2 feet from the desk, her 5'4" frame trembling with a mother's fury, her sneakers squeaking on the tile as she jabs a finger at Pruitt. "You got no right. He's a good kid." Pruitt turns slow, towering over her, his smirk widening into something feral. "Tell it to Caldwell. He loves locking up trash like him," his tone dripping with contempt as he waves her off. "Get out of my station, for I cuff you too." Tanya's fists clench, her voice rising. "He's no thief. He helps me, helps his sister. He don't deserve this." But Gaines steps between, shoving her back. "Ain't our problem. Take your sob story somewhere else." His push, knocking her against the wall, her shoulder thudding hard enough to bruise as she catches herself, tears brimming but unshed. Jamal bangs the bars. "Mama, don't let him!" his cry desperate. But Pruitt grabs his arm through the gap, twisting till he yelps, "Quiet or she's next." And Tanya stumbles out, her pleas swallowed by the closing door, leaving Jamal alone with the planted wrench and the weight of a town that's already judged him guilty. He sinks back, clutching a crumpled photo from his pocket. His mom, his dad, a lifeline in his shaking hands. Thinking maybe truth can still win, not knowing it's about to bury him deeper in this racist story he can't escape. All right, folks, what do you think? Should Tanya have fought harder, or was she doomed against Pruitt's racism? Comment number 1. If you think she did all she could for Jamal, hit that like button if this racist story's got you fired up, and subscribe, so you don't miss the next twist. It's about to get wilder. So can Jamal's truth survive a courtroom stacked against him? Jamal Carter stands shackled in the back of Sheriff Dale Pruitt's cruiser, the dawn breaking over Pine Hollow, Alabama, with a humid haze that pushes the temperature to 75 degrees Fahrenheit as the vehicle rumbles down Main Street, toward the county courthouse 2 miles from the jail where he spent a sleepless night. The cuffs bite deeper into his wrists, blood crusting where they rubbed raw against the bars 12 hours ago, his patched jeans stiff with dust, his t-shirt torn at the shoulder from Pruitt's grip, now clinging damp to his thin frame from the cell's stifling heat that never dipped. Below 80 degrees inside despite the flicker of a rusty fan. His sneakers, scuffed and frayed, shuffle against the floorboard as the cruiser jostles over potholes, every bump jarring his bruised arm where Pruitt twisted it, his 14-year-old body aching but his hazel eyes burning with a quiet fire. He's no thief, just a kid who washed dishes at Dixie Diner yesterday to keep his mom Tanya and little sister Keisha afloat in their leaking trailer on County Road 12. Yet here he is, hauled from a cell where Deputy Roy Gaines planted a wrench, in his backpack, a lie now etched in Pruitt's fabricated report claiming a witness saw him near the hardware store. The courthouse looms ahead, a squat brick relic with peeling whitewash and a sagging portico, its clock tower stuck at 10 minutes past noon like time itself gave up on this town. The cruiser screeches to a halt, Pruitt yanking Jamal out with a meaty hand snarling, "Move, boy, Judge Caldwell's waiting to bury you." His buzz-cut head gleaming with sweat, his khaki uniform reeking of tobacco as he shoves Jamal up the steps, the boy's 6-foot shadow shrinking under the sheriff's bulk. Inside the courtroom's a sweltering box, 82 degrees despite a wheezing ceiling fan, the air thick with the scent of old wood and older hate. Rows of wooden benches hold 50 locals, mostly white faces twisted with smirks or blank stares, their whispers buzzing like flies as Jamal's uncuffed and pushed to a rickety defendant's table, his wrists red and raw, the planted wrench sitting smugly in an evidence bag beside Pruitt's clipboard. Judge Henry Caldwell presides from the bench, a silver-haired tyrant in a black robe, 65 years old with 40 on this seat, his grey eyes cold as slate as he adjusts wire-rimmed glasses, peering down at a fake rap sheet Pruitt slipped. Him before dawn, truancy, vandalism, all lies scribbled to paint Jamal a delinquent, his 6'2" frame hunched under the weight of a racist story he didn't write. Tanya rushes in, her cleaning smock wrinkled, her braid unraveling, her tired brown eyes wide with a mother's panic. She slides beside Jamal, whispering, "I got you, baby," her voice trembling but fierce as she grips his hand, her 5'4" stature dwarfed by the room's looming judgment. Caldwell bangs the gavel, a sharp crack silencing the murmurs, his drawl cutting through. "Jamal Carter, charged with theft, hardware store tools. What's your plea?" Jamal stands, legs shaky, voice steady. "Not guilty, sir, I didn't do it." But Caldwell's lips twitch into a sneer. "Sit, don't waste my time," dismissing him like a fly as Pruitt strides to the stand, his boots thumping, swearing. Caught him red-handed, wrench in his bag, seen sneaking round the store. His pale blue eyes glinting with a lie so bold it chokes the air. Tanya leaps up. "He's innocent. He was working at the diner 6 to 9 last night." Her voice cracks raw with truth and Jamal nods. "Miss Ellie can tell you." Hope flickering as he pictures the gray-haired widow vouching. For him, her biscuit still warm in his memory. Caldwell's gaze narrows. "Sit down, woman. Your boy's a born liar." His tone dripping with contempt as he waves her off. The all-white jury, 10 locals, farmers and shopkeepers with calloused hands and harder hearts, smirking from their box, their nods syncing with Pruitt's tale like they've heard it 100 times and believed it everyone. The diner's cook, Tommy Lee, a lanky black man with a limp from an old mill accident, shuffles in, swearing, "Jamal was scrubbing pots. I locked up at 9. He was there." His voice gravelly but sure. Jamal's chest lifts, a breath of relief, thinking this'll crack the lie, that truth's finally got legs to stand on. Pruitt snorts. He slipped out, thief sneaky, and Caldwell leans forward, glasses glinting. "Irrelevant. Alibi's flimsy. Don't change the facts." His words a hammer smashing Jamal's hope, the gavel slamming down with a thud. That echoes like a cell door. "Detention hearing tomorrow, 5 years if I say so." His sneer promising a sentence already written in his mind, the jury's smirks widening as Tanya gasps, "No, he's good. He don't deserve this." Caldwell bangs again, "Quiet or you're out." And Jamal sinks back, the room spinning. His brief taste of victory souring into dread as deputies loom, ready to drag him back to that mildewed cell, the racist story tightening its grip with every tick of the stuck clock outside. Jamal Carter pedals his rusty bike through the twilight streets of Pine Hollow, Alabama, the air cooling to 78 degrees Fahrenheit as the sun dips below the horizon, casting a faint orange glow over the cotton fields 2 miles from Woo, the courthouse where Judge Henry Caldwell crushed his alibi an hour ago. The $20 his mom Tanya, scraped together from her last cleaning gig, bailed him out after that rigged hearing, a temporary reprieve from the jail cell's mildew stink, and now his patched jeans flap against his legs, his torn t-shirt sticking to his sweaty back as he pumps the pedals hard, his 14-year-old frame fueled by a flicker of hope that he's dodged the worst of this racist story for one more night. His sneakers scuffed beyond repair, squeak with every push, the bike's chain rattling louder than the crickets waking up in the scrub along County Road 12. He's 3 blocks from the trailer, its tin roof a glinting beacon in the dusk, his bruised wrists throbbing where the cuffs bit last night, his hazel eyes darting to the shadows, still tasting the dust Pruitt ground into his cheek 12 hours ago when this nightmare kicked off with that false theft charge. He's 6 feet tall but feels smaller, hunched against the weight of Caldwell's sneer. 5 years if I say so. And the jury smirks, but Tanya's voice echoes, "I got you, baby," pushing him to get home, to hug her and Keisha, to figure out a way to fight tomorrow's detention hearing. The road's quiet, too quiet until headlights flare behind him. 3 pickups roar up, engines snarling, gravel spitting as they box him in, 6 white men piling out, hoods pulled, low, their shadows stretching long and jagged under the fading light. Jamal slams the brakes, tires skidding. He tries to swerve, but a brick rockets from the lead truck, smashing his bike's front wheel with a crunch of metal, the impact jolting him off, his knees slamming the pavement as another brick cracks. His left arm, a sickening snap echoing as pain explodes white-hot up his shoulder, blood welling fast under his sleeve. He scrambles up, gasping, "I didn't do nothing!" But a voice bellows, raw and hateful, "Thieving black rat, stay out!" And a third brick grazes his ribs, knocking the wind from him as he staggers, the mob circling like wolves, their boots crunching closer, Confederate patches glinting on their jackets, a symbol of the hate that simmered in Pine Hollow since before Jamal was born. He bolts, arm dangling useless, toward the trailer 50 yards off. Its sagging porch looms Tanya's silhouette in the doorway, but the mob's faster, a bat swinging low, clipping his ankle, sending him sprawling 10 feet from safety as Tanya screams, "Jamal!" and rushes out, her wiry frame shoving through to pull him inside, slamming the door as fists pound the tin walls, shaking the whole rig. Jamal's chest heaves, blood dripping onto the linoleum, his arm a throbbing mess. He thinks he's safe. Tanya's arms around him, Keisha peeking from her bunk with wide, terrified eyes. But then a crackle cuts through, a CB radio outside spitting static, and Pruitt's voice rasps loud and clear, "Teach him a lesson, burn it," a command that chills Jamal to the bone, tying this mob to the sheriff who framed him yesterday with that planted wrench. Glass shatters as a Molotov cocktail sails through the window, flames erupting across the porch, licking up the warped boards, the trailer's tin groans, smoke choking the air as Tanya grabs Keisha, shouting, "Out the back!" Jamal stumbles up, pain searing, pushing them through a rear hatch as fire swallows the front, the mob's cheers ringing in his ears. Get what's coming to you! He collapses outside, 10 feet from the blaze. Tanya, dragging him and Keisha into the scrub as the trailer lights up the night. They're home. 2 bedrooms, a leaky roof, all they've got. Reduced to ash in minutes. Pruitt's laugh crackling over the CB like a devil's hymn. Jamal's arm hangs limp, blood soaking his sleeve, his bike a twisted heap back on the road. He escaped court, got bail, thought he'd won a breath. But this mob, spurred by Pruitt's hate, has torched that hope, leaving him bleeding in the twine. Dirt, the racist story roaring louder than the flames, a nightmare he can't outrun. What do you think? Did Jamal deserve this brutal payback just for being black? Comment number 1 if you're furious at this racist mob's attack. Hit that like button if you're rooting for his fight. And subscribe so you don't miss what's next. It's about to get crazier. So, can Jamal and Tanya bounce back from losing everything? Or is Pruitt's next move even worse? Jamal Carter crouches in the scrub behind the smoldering ruins of his family's trailer, the night air thick with smoke and ash as flames devour the tin walls 2 miles from Pine Hollow's Main Street. The temperatures drop to 75 degrees Fahrenheit, but the heat from the fire sears his face, his broken left arm dangling useless, blood soaking through his torn t-shirt where the mob's brick cracked it an hour ago, his patched jeans singed at the hem from the blaze. He barely escaped with his mom Tanya and little sister Keisha, now huddled beside him in the dark Alabama brush. His 14-year-old frame trembles, his sneakers crunching on dry twigs as he clutches his throbbing ribs, bruised from the fall when the mob's bat clipped his ankle. The trailer's gone, 2 bedrooms and a leaky roof reduced to a skeleton of charred metal, their meager life torched on Sheriff Dale Pruitt's hissed command over the CB radio. Teach him a lesson. Burn it. A racist order that still rings in Jamal's ears. Proof this nightmare's deeper than the theft lie. From yesterday, Tanya's wiry arms wrap around Keisha, her cleaning smock blackened with soot. Her brown eyes wild as she whispers, "We're okay, baby." Though her voice shakes, her braid unraveling as she scans the shadows. She's 35, tough, has nails from years scrubbing floors, but the fire's stripped her bare, leaving only fear and fury as Keisha sobs, "Where we gonna sleep?" Jamal's hazel eyes sting with smoke and unshed tears. He thought bail meant a breather after Judge Henry Caldwell's courtroom blow, a chance to fight tomorrow's hearing. But the mob's attack has left them homeless, his broken arm a throbbing testament to Pine Hollow's hate. Headlights slice through the dusk, a cruiser rumbling up 50 yards off. Pruitt steps out, his 6'3" bulk a silhouette against the firelight, his buzz-cut head gleaming, his khaki uniform crisp despite the chaos he's sown. He saunters, over boots crunching, smirking down at Tanya as she stands. "Sheriff, they burned our home, do something." Her voice cracks, raw with a mother's desperation, but Pruitt's pale blue eyes glint cold, his drawl mocking. "Arson? Looks like your boy said it. Trouble follows him, don't it?" Tanya lunges. "That's a lie. He was attacked." "But..." Pruitt shoves her back, her shoulder thudding against a pine trunk as he snarls, "Watch yourself, woman, this is his mess." Jamal staggers up, pain shooting through his arm. "I didn't do it. You told him to burn it. I heard you." His shout ragged, but Pruitt grabs him by the collar, yanking him off his feet. "You're under arrest, arson on top of theft." His fist slamming into Jamal's gut, doubling him over with a gasp as Tanya screams, "Stop!" Pruitt doesn't flinch. He cuffs Jamal's wrists, the steel grinding against the fresh break, blood welling anew as he drags him to the cruiser, Tanya clawing at his arm. "He's hurt. Let him go." But Deputy Roy Gaines rolls up in a second car, wiry and grinning, hopping out with a gas can dangling from his hand. "Found this by the trailer. Prints match the kids," his patchy beard twitching with a lie as he tosses it into the evidence bag, the metal clinking like a death knell. Jamal chokes, "You planted that, I never touched it." His voice hoarse, but Pruitt slams him against the cruiser's hood, the hot metal searing his cheek as the sheriff leans close. Breath sour with tobacco. "Confess, boy, or it's 10 years. Judge Caldwell's itching to lock you up tight." Jamal spits blood onto the hood, defiance flaring through the pain. "I won't lie, I ain't what you say." His words a ragged vow, but Pruitt's fist crashes into his ribs, a dull thud that steals his breath, bones creaking as he crumples. Gasping, "Mama, help!" Tanya rushes forward, but Gaines grabs her, pinning her arms. "Stay back, he's ours now!" His shove sending her sprawling into the dirt, Keisha wailing as Pruitt hauls Jamal into the back seat, the door slamming, with a clang that echoes over the crackling flames. The cruiser peels out, gravel spraying, leaving Tanya on her knees, fists pounding the earth. Inside, Pruitt's fist slams Jamal's face, splitting his lip, blood flooding his mouth as the sheriff snarls, "Caldwell'll bury you anyhow. Might as well break you first." Another punch cracking his nose, cartilage crunching, the world spinning as Jamal slumps, his defiance beaten down but not out. The station looms ahead, a brick tomb half a mile off. Pruitt drags him back to the same cell, tossing him onto the concrete, the gas can clanking as Gaines logs it. Arson's a lock now, 10 years easy. While Tanya's cries fade outside, her pleas unheard, unanswered, the racist story piling lies atop bruises, a trap slamming shut tighter than those cuffs ever could. Jamal Carter stands trembling in the Pine Hollow courthouse, the morning sun pushing the temperature to 80 degrees Fahrenheit through the cracked windows, the air heavy with the musk of old wood and the sweat of 60 spectators packed into the benches 2 miles from the charred skeleton of his trailer. The cuffs are gone, but his wrists bear red welts, his broken left arm slung tight against his chest with a strip of Tanya's old smock, blood crusting where the mob's brick snapped it last night, his patched jeans stiff with ash, his torn t-shirt clinging to his bruised ribs where Sheriff Dale Pruitt's fists landed hours ago in the jail cell half a mile away. His 14-year-old frame sways, his sneakers scuffing the worn floorboards, his hazel eyes darting to the all-white jury, 10 locals with hard faces, their smirks a mirror of Pruitt's as he looms near the witness stand, his 6'3", bulk a khaki-clad threat, his buzz-cut head gleaming under the buzzing fluorescence. Tanya sits behind Jamal, her wiry form rigid, her cleaning smock swapped for a faded dress, her brown eyes blazing with a mother's desperation. Keisha's safe with a neighbor, but the trailer's loss weighs on her, her braid fraying as she grips the bench, whispering, "Hold on, baby." Judge Henry Caldwell presides, 65 years of tyranny etched into his silver hair and gray eyes, his black robe a shroud as he adjusts his glasses, peering at Pruitt's latest report, arson. Added to theft, a gas can with Jamal's prints, all lies stacked atop the wrench Deputy Roy Gaines planted 2 nights back. The gavel bangs, a sharp crack slicing the murmurs, Caldwell's drawl cold. "Jamal Carter, theft and arson, what's your plea?" Jamal stands, legs shaking, voice hoarse from Pruitt's beating. "Not guilty. I didn't steal, didn't burn nothing." But Caldwell's sneer cuts deeper than the cuffs ever did. "Sit. Your kind's always got excuses." Dismissing him as Pruitt strides up, boots thumping, swearing, caught him with the wrench, then he torched his own place. Gas can's proof, his pale blue eyes glinting with a lie so brazen it chokes the room. Gaines nodding from the sidelines. "Prints don't lie, kid's a firebug." Tanya leaps up, her voice a raw shout. "They attacked us, burned our home, you liars." Her 5'4" frame quivering, pointing at Pruitt. But Caldwell slams the gavel. "Silence, woman, or jail, you're wasting my court." His gray eyes flash, silencing her as she sinks back, tears brimming, the jury's smirks widening like they've already carved Jamal's fate in stone. Pruitt steps down grinning, and Gaines takes the stand, his wiry frame slouched, patchy beard twitching. "Found the can by the trailer. His prints, his fire." His voice oily with deceit as he holds up the planted evidence, the metal glinting. Like a guillotine blade, Jamal's stomach twists. "That's a lie, I never touched it." But Caldwell waves him off. "Enough. Your mouth's digging your hole deeper." His tone a racist hiss that echoes Pruitt's, "Your kind." From the arrest, the prosecution rests, no defense called. Jamal's got no lawyer, just Tanya's pleas, and the jury files out, their boots scuffing, deliberating 10 minutes before shuffling back. The foreman, a grizzled farmer, standing, "Guilty, all." "Counts?" His voice flat as the jury nods, some grinning, others blank. Caldwell leans forward, glasses glinting. "Jamal Carter, 5 years juvenile detention, teach you respect." His smirk a promise of ruin as the gavel rises, the room tilting under Jamal's feet. His chest tightens, his broken arm throbbing. Tanya's gasp, a knife in his ears as she screams, "No, he's innocent!" Caldwell bangs again, "Quiet or you're next!" And deputies loom, their hands on Jamal's shoulders, ready to drag him back to that cell. His hope snuffed out by a verdict written in hate before he ever stepped in. He staggers, the weight crushing. 5 years, Tanya's health failing. Keisha alone, but his right hand digs into his pocket, yanking out a crumpled photo, thrusting it high. "Look at this. Look at my family." His voice cracks, desperate, as the deputies freeze. Caldwell's gavel pausing mid-air, his grey eyes narrowing, confusion cracking his stern mask as the room hushes, 60 breaths held, a flicker of doubt shimmering in the judge's glare. Jamal's last gasp, a lifeline in this racist story, teeters on the edge of oblivion. All right, folks, what do you think? Was Jamal's fight against this rigged trial doomed from the start? Comment number 1 if you're outraged at Caldwell's racist verdict. Hit that like button if you're cheering for Jamal's defiance, and subscribe so you don't miss the next twist. It's about to get wild. Can this photo really change Caldwell's mind, or is it just another trap waiting to snap? Stay tuned to find out. Jamal Carter stands frozen in the Pine Hollow courthouse, his right hand trembling as he holds a crumpled photo aloft. The air thick with the heat of 82 degrees Fahrenheit pressing through the cracked windows 2 miles from the charred remains of his family's trailer. The courtroom's 60 spectators fall silent, their murmurs snuffed out like a candle as Judge Henry Caldwell's gavel hovers mid-air, his grey eyes narrowing behind wire-rimmed glasses. The 5-year juvenile detention sentence he just slammed down still ringing in Jamal's ears from moments ago. His broken left arm throbs in its makeshift sling, blood seeping through the torn t-shirt where the mob cracked it last night, his patched jeans stiff with ash and sweat, his 14-year-old frame swaying under the weight of Sheriff Dale Pruitt's lies, arson, theft, a gas can and wrench planted to bury him. But his hazel eyes lock on Caldwell, desperation fueling his shout, "Look at this! Look at my family!" The deputies, poised to drag him back to the cell half a mile away, pause, their hands hovering as Tanya Carter leaps from the bench behind, her wiry form quivering in her faded dress, her brown eyes wide with a mother's terror. "Jamal, what are you doing?" Her voice a ragged whisper, her braid fraying as she grips the rail, Keisha's absence a hollow ache after the trailer burned. Caldwell's silver hair glints under the buzzing fluorescence, his 65 years of judicial tyranny etched into his stern face. He leans forward, robe rustling, his drawl sharp. "Where'd you get that, boy?" The word boy, a racist lash, echoing Pruitt's sneer from the arrest 2 days back. But his gaze fixes on the photo, a faded snapshot trembling in Jamal's grip. Tanya, 35 and smiling, beside a young white man with grey eyes, just like Caldwell's, Jamal's dad, dead 15 years from a mill accident when Jamal was barely walking. Jamal's voice cracks, raw from Pruitt's beating last night. "My mum, your brother was my father." The words burst like a dam breaking, his breath hitching as he thrusts the photo higher, the room spinning, 60 gasps rippling through the benches, the all-white jury, 10 locals with hard, smirking faces, staring slack-jawed Pruitt's 6'3" bulk shifting uneasily near the witness stand, his khaki uniform taut as his pale blue eyes dart to Caldwell. Tanya staggers. "Jamal, how?" Her voice trails off, stunned, because she'd kept that secret buried. The fling with Caldwell's brother, a fleeting escape from Pine Hollow's grind. A truth she never told her son, till he found the photo in her old jewelry box a year back, a keepsake she'd meant to burn but couldn't. Caldwell snatches the photo from a deputy's hand, his fingers trembling as he squints. There's Tanya, young and bright, beside his estranged brother, Thomas, dead at 25 in a saw blade mishap Caldwell blamed on careless trash. A brother he'd cut ties with decades ago over a family feud he never forgave. His face pales, the courtroom tilting. He staggers back, 65 years crashing down, recognizing those grey eyes in Jamal's, the nephew he never knew existed, accused of crimes he didn't commit under his own gavel. The room erupts, whispers. Swelling to a roar, Pruitt growls, "He's lying." But the jury's foreman, a grizzled farmer, mutters, "Looks real," as gasps ripple, 60 breaths held, the photo a bombshell shattering Caldwell's stone mask. Jamal's chest heaves, hope flaring. He's kin, family, a lifeline after Pruitt's fists, the mob's bricks, the planted lies. This racist story could end, he thinks. Caldwell could see him, save him. But the judge's eyes harden, his tremble steadying into a scowl, his voice a low hiss. This changes nothing, you're still trash. His rejection a blade sharper than Pruitt's cuffs, slicing through the room's stunned hush. Tanya cries, "Henry, he's your blood." Her plea raw, but Caldwell bangs the gavel. Recess 10 minutes, his robe flaring as he retreats to his chambers, the photo clutched tight, his grey eyes burning with a hate that twists the revelation into a curse. Jamal sinks to his knees, the deputies stepping back, his broken arm throbbing, his hope fading. The family tie, his last stand, flops like a dying fish as Caldwell's words echo, "Still trash, a racist vow." That kinship won't bend his gavel. Pruitt smirks, "Told ya, blood don't mean squat." His boots thumping as he looms while Tanya clutches the bench, tears falling. The room spins, 60 eyes staring, the racist story roaring back, fiercer than ever. Jamal's lifeline snapped before it could pull him free. Jamal Carter kneels on the courthouse floor, the crumpled photo slipping from his trembling fingers as Judge Henry Caldwell's hissed rejection, "This changes nothing, you're still trash," cuts deeper than the broken arm throbbing in its sling. The Pine Hollow courtroom's 82-degree heat pressing through cracked windows, 2 miles from his burned-out trailer. The 60 spectators' stunned gasps fade to a dull roar, their whispers swallowed by the fluorescent buzz. As Caldwell storms into his chambers, the gavels echo a death knell for the 5-year sentence he'd slammed down moments ago. Jamal's 14-year-old frame sways, his patched jeans stiff with ash, his torn t-shirt soaked with sweat and blood from last night's mob attack, his hazel eyes wide with a fading hope, his uncle's grey stare turned colder than sheriff. Dale Pruitt's fists, the family tie he'd clung to shredded by a racist vow that kinship means nothing in this story of hate. Tanya Carter lurches forward, her wiry form shaking in her faded dress, her brown eyes spilling tears as she grabs Jamal's shoulders. "Henry, he's your blood! Don't do this!" Her voice raw, her braid unraveling as she pleads. But the judge's chamber door slams shut, 60 locals shifting uneasily. Pruitt's 6'3" bulk looming near the exit, his khaki uniform taut, his pale blue eyes glinting with a smirk that says he's already won. The deputies hesitate, their hands off Jamal as Tanya pulls him up. "We're getting out of here," her 5'4" stance fierce despite the loss of Keisha's home, her son's freedom. But Caldwell's voice crackles over the intercom, sharp and cold. "Sheriff, handle it now." A command that snaps Pruitt into motion, his boots thumping as he grabs his radio, barking, "Gaines, outside, move!" Jamal stumbles, his broken arm screaming, as Tanya drags him toward the door. The courtroom tilting, 60 eyes follow, some shocked, some smug, but none help. The racist story roaring back with a vengeance he didn't see coming. They hit the courthouse steps, the noon sun spiking to 85 degrees, blinding Jamal as Tanya pulls him toward Main Street. But headlights flare, 2 cruisers screeching up, Pruitt and Deputy Roy Gaines leaping out with 4 more deputies, their faces twisted with hate, batons swinging as Pruitt bellows, "You ain't walking, boy, your uncle says rot." Gaines grabs Jamal, his wiry frame wiry with malice, slamming him against the steps, concrete cracking his ribs as a baton smashes his good arm, pain exploding white-hot, blood flooding his mouth from a split lip. Jamal screams, "I'm your kin," but Pruitt's fist crashes into his jaw, cartilage crunching. "Shut it. Family don't mean squat." Tanya lunges. "Stop. You'll kill him." But a deputy pins her, twisting her arms till she cries out, her knees hitting. The pavement as Gaines kicks Jamal's side, boots thudding against bruised flesh. "Caldwell's orders, break him good." Jamal curls, gasping, his broken arm useless, blood pooling beneath him as the deputies swarm, 5 against 1, batons raining down. His nose snaps under a blow, his vision blurs, but he chokes out, "Mama!" A plea drowned by Pruitt's laugh. "Ain't no saving you now." They haul him up half-conscious, dragging him to a cruiser 50 feet off. The crowd spills out, 60 locals watching, some cheering, some silent, as Tanya fights, "Let him go." But Pruitt shoves her back, "You're next, trash," and cuffs her too, her wrists bleeding as she's tossed into a second car. At the station half a mile away, Pruitt dumps Jamal into the same mildewed cell, his boots echoing as Gaines struts in, a baggie of white powder dangling from his hand. Cocaine, pristine and planted, tossing it beside the gas can. Found this on him, 20 years now, his patchy beard twitching with a grin as he logs it, Pruitt snarling, "Caldwell'll love this. Drug dealing nephew's a slam dunk." Jamal slumps, blood dripping onto the concrete. His broken arm limp, his ribs cracked. 20 years, not 5. A racist lie piled on arson and theft. His hope of family shattered by Caldwell's call. Pruitt's fists, Gaines's frame-up. Tanya's locked across the hall, charged with aiding a felon, her cries muffled, "Jamal, hold on!" But Pruitt slams her door, "Shut up, your boy's done," while Caldwell watches from his chambers, peering through blinds, vowing, "No black kin of mine walks free." His grey eyes burning with a hate that turns blood to ash, Jamal's fleeting victory crushed under a retaliation fiercer than the mob's flames. Caldwell's rejection cuts deep. Should Jamal have kept that photo hidden? Comment number 1 if you think he was right to fight with the truth. Hit that like button if this racist retaliation has you raging, and subscribe so you don't miss the next blow. It's about to explode. Can Jamal survive Pruitt's next attack, or will this setup bury him for good? Stay tuned to find out. Jamal Carter slumps against the cold concrete of his Pine Hollow jail cell, the air stagnant at 80 degrees Fahrenheit, as dusk settles over the town half a mile from the courthouse, where Judge Henry Caldwell's rejection, "No black kin of mine walks free," still burns in his ears. The blood from Sheriff Dale Pruitt's beating crusts on his split lip. His broken left arm throbs in its sling. His ribs ache with every shallow breath. His patched jeans and torn t-shirt stiff, with sweat and ash from the trailer fire 2 nights ago. His 14-year-old frame trembles, his sneakers scuffed and blood-streaked. His hazel eyes glassy from the cocaine Deputy Roy Gaines planted hours ago, a lie that's jacked his sentence from 5 years to 20, a racist frame-up stacked. Atop theft and arson charges he didn't commit. Tanya Carter's cries echo from her cell across the hall, "Jamal, hold on!" Her wrists bruised from cuffs, charged with aiding a felon, after Pruitt's deputies dragged her from the courthouse steps, her wiry form locked away 2 miles from their burned-out home where Keisha's now with a neighbor. The cell door clangs, Pruitt's 6'3" bulk filling the frame, his khaki uniform wrinkled, his buzz-cut head gleaming. He smirks. "Bail's posted, some fool at the diner, but don't get comfy." His pale blue eyes glinting as he uncuffs Jamal, shoving him toward the exit. "You're done tonight." Jamal staggers, hope flickering. Miss Ellie from Dixie Diner, her grey hair and biscuits a lifeline, must have scraped $20 to spring him, but Pruitt's smirk chills him, a trap he can't see yet. He limps out, the evening cooling to 78 degrees. Tanya still locked behind as he steps onto Main Street. 2 blocks from freedom, his sneakers scrape pavement when headlights flare, 3 pickups roaring up, the same 6 hooded men from last night's mob, their Confederate patches glinting but now joined by 10 more. A crowd swelling as news vans screech in, cameras rolling live. They grab him, batons swinging. His good arm cracks under a blow, blood welling as they drag him screaming, "I didn't do it!" to a field 50 yards off, a noose dangling from an oak, the rope coarse and taut, their chants deafening. "Caldwell's orders! End the line!" Pruitt looms at the edge, radio crackling. "Make it quick!" His voice a hiss as the mob hoists Jamal, the rope scraping his neck, his broken arm limp, his ribs screaming. 16 white faces leer, some local, some strangers, their hoods. Lower live feed beaming it statewide. Pine Hollow justice ticker blazing as the rope tightens. Air thinning, his vision spotting black. Tanya, locked in her cell, bangs the bars. 2 miles away, she'd slipped a plea to Keisha's neighbor, who ran to Miss Ellie at the diner. Ellie, watching the broadcast, dials the feds, her gravelly voice shaking. "They're killing him. Live! Help!" 50 miles out, federal agents in black SUVs gun it, sirens blaring. Jamal's feet dangle, the rope biting, his gasps fading as the mob cheers, "Thief's done!" But chopper blades thrum, floodlights slicing the dusk as feds storm in, rifles barking, bullets ripping through hoods, 3 mobsters dropping, blood pooling in the dirt. The rope slackens, Jamal crashing to the ground, coughing, clawing air. Agents swarm, cuffing 6, the rest scattering as Pruitt bolts, his cruiser peeling out, leaving Jamal gasping, neck raw, ribs cracked anew, alive but broken. Tanya's voice haunts him. Hold on. 2 miles off, she's unheard. The feds radioing her release too late to stop this. Jamal staggers up, blood dripping, as cameras zoom, a reporter shouting, "FBI saves boy from lynching." But then Caldwell's face flickers on a news screen, live from his chambers, silver hair stark, grey eyes cold. A lie, he's a thug, not my kin. Vigilantes overreacted, his denial a smooth lie, washing his hands of the noose, the mob, the racist story he fueled. Jamal's knees buckle, feds steadying him. Pruitt's gone, the mob's cracked, but Caldwell's words twist the knife, turning rescue into a hollow gasp, the live feed a mirror of Pine Hollow's hate, unbroken, despite the blood on the oak. Jamal Carter limps into the Pine Hollow courthouse, his broken left arm throbbing in a sling, a fresh bandage tight around his neck where the mob's noose scraped it raw the night before. The morning sun pushes the temperature to 83 degrees Fahrenheit through the cracked windows 2 miles from the field, where federal agents gunned down his would-be lynchers 12 hours ago. His patched jeans stiff with dirt and blood, his torn t-shirt clinging to bruised ribs cracked by Sheriff Dale Pruitt's fists and the mob's batons, his 14-year-old frame swaying as he leans on Tanya Carter, her wiry form trembling in a borrowed coat, her brown eyes hollow from a night in jail half a mile away, released at dawn when feds stormed Pruitt's station. His sneakers shuffle on the worn floorboards, his hazel eyes darting to the 60 spectators packing the benches, their murmurs a low hum under the buzzing fluorescence. Federal agents in black vests line the walls, rifles slung. Their raid on Judge Henry Caldwell's office at sunrise yielding a goldmine. Recorded calls to Pruitt, ordering the mob's lesson, logs tying him to planted evidence. A racist story unraveling live after the televised lynching attempt. Tanya grips Jamal's hand. "We're fighting this." Her voice steady despite the ash on her braid from their burned trailer. Keisha safe with Miss Ellie 2 blocks off. Caldwell presides, 65 years carved into his silver hair, his grey eyes bloodshot behind wire-rimmed glasses, his black robe creased. He bangs the gavel, a weak thud, his drawl faltering. "Court's back, Carter case," as Pruitt slinks near the exit, his 6'3" bulk tense, his khaki uniform rumpled, his pale blue eyes flickering with a cornered animal's panic. Jamal stands, ribs screaming, neck raw, thrusting the crumpled photo high. "You're my uncle. Stop this," his voice hoarse, cracking with pain and defiance. The snapshot of Tanya and Caldwell's brother trembling in his grip, 60 gasps rippling as the jury, 10 white locals, their smirks gone, leans forward, stunned by the kin he'd denied. Yesterday with still trash. Tanya steps up. "He's your nephew. You ordered that rope." Her accusation sharp, but Caldwell's face hardens. "Sit. Photos irrelevant." His lie thin as federal agent Lila Hayes strides in. Her black vest gleaming, slamming a recorder on the bench. "Not anymore, play it." The tape crackles. Caldwell's voice cold. "Handle it, burn it, end the line." Pruitt's reply, "Yes, sir." 60 breaths catch. The jury's foreman, a grizzled farmer, paling as Hayes adds, "Raided your office. Calls, logs, all here." Caldwell ran Pruitt, framed the kid. Her words a sledgehammer, Pruitt's fists clenching as he edges toward the door. Caldwell stammers, "That's fabricated." But the jury revolts, the foreman standing. "We heard enough. Acquitted, all charges." His voice firm, 9 nods backing him as gasps erupt. Tanya sobbing, "Jamal, you're free." Caldwell bangs, "Order." His grey eyes wild. 60 locals whispering, feds closing in. Pruitt's bulk shifting, his escape cut off. Jamal staggers, tears welling, he's free. 5 years erased, 20 years of planted drugs nullified. the racist story cracking under truth's weight. Hayes uncuffs Tanya. "You're clear too," and Jamal hugs her, ribs aching. "Mama, we did it." His voice a whisper as 60 eyes watch, some ashamed, some furious, the gavel useless in Caldwell's trembling hand. He's exposed. His calls to Pruitt a noose of his own making. The judge's reign teetering as feds move to arrest him. But the door explodes open. Pruitt charges back, a revolver gleaming, his roar deafening. "You're dead, boy!" His 6'3" frame lunging, gun barking as Jamal dives, the bullet grazing his neck. A hot streak tearing flesh an inch from the noose's mark. Blood sprays, 60 screams fill the room as Tanya tackles Jamal down, feds drawing. "Drop!" "Sit!" Pruitt fires again, wild glass shattering as Hayes shoots back, her round clipping his shoulder. He stumbles, gun clattering, but his pale blue eyes burn. "Ain't over!" Feds swarm, cuffing him, dragging him out as Jamal gasps. Blood pooling, his acquittal a heartbeat from death. The racist story lashing back even as justice cracks through. Jamal Carter sprawls on the Pine Hollow courthouse floor, blood seeping from the graze on his neck, where Sheriff Dale Pruitt's bullet tore flesh an inch from the noose's mark 12 hours ago. The midday sun pushes the temperature to 85 degrees Fahrenheit through the shattered windows 2 miles from the field, where feds saved him from a televised lynching. His broken left arm throbbing in its sling, his ribs screaming from Pruitt's earlier beatings. His patched jeans and torn t-shirt soaked with sweat and fresh crimson. As federal agents wrestle the 6'3" sheriff to the ground, his khaki uniform bloodied at the shoulder, where Agent Lila Hayes' shot clipped him, his revolver skidding. Across the wood, his pale blue eyes wild with a cornered beast's fury. Tanya Carter kneels beside Jamal, her wiry frame shaking in her borrowed coat, her brown eyes wide as she presses her sleeve to his neck. "Stay with me, baby." Her voice raw, her braid fraying, Keisha still safe with Miss Ellie 2 blocks away while 60 spectators scream, their murmurs drowned by the buzz of live news cameras, capturing every second since the jury's acquittal minutes ago. Judge Henry Caldwell looms at the bench, 65 years of tyranny etched into his silver hair, his grey eyes bloodshot behind wire-rimmed glasses. His black robe flaps as he bangs the gavel. "Order, damn it!" His drawl cracking, the feds tape of his calls to Pruitt, "Burn it, end the line," still echoing, 60 locals gaping as agents close in, Hayes barking, "Caldwell, you're under arrest, conspiracy, corruption." Jamal gasps, blood slicking his fingers. Why? His 14-year-old voice hoarse, his hazel eyes locking on his uncle, the man who sentenced him to 5 years, then 20, for crimes he didn't commit, who denied their blood with still. Trash yesterday, despite the photo proving it. Caldwell sneers, his face a mask of hate. "You're no kin, tainted blood, a stain on my name." His words a racist venom, spitting at the boy he'd ordered beaten, framed, nearly hanged. His 60 years of power crumbling as cameras zoom, the feed beaming statewide, Pine Hollow judge exposed, ticker blazing. Pruitt thrashes, cuffed, his bulk heaving. "You told me, end him!" But Caldwell's chest heaves, a sharp gasp cutting his retort. He clutches his heart, his silver hair wild, his grey eyes bulging as he staggers, the gavel slipping, clattering to the bench. A bee. Heart attack seizes him, his 65-year reign collapsing mid-trial, his robe tangling as he crashes forward, face slamming the wood with a sickening thud, blood trickling from his nose, the courtroom freezing, 60 breaths held, cameras rolling as the puppet master dies live, his empire of hate extinguished in a heartbeat. Hayes rushes the bench. "Medic!" But his pulse is gone, the judge's grey eyes staring blank. The feds stepping back, 60 locals whispering, some in shock, some in grim relief. Jamal stares, blood dripping, his uncle's last words. Tainted blood. A final lash. The man who'd run Pruitt, framed him with theft, arson, drugs, now a corpse undone by his own venom. Pruitt slumps in cuffs, his shoulder bleeding, his buzz-cut head bowed as agents haul him up. He mutters, voice low, "Caldwell ran us all, me, Gaines, the mob, his cash, his rules." A confession spilling as Hayes records, "Deputies, judges, he owned 'em. Wanted the kid gone, reforms threatening his take." His pale blue eyes dull, the racist story's architect dead, its enforcer cracked, Pine Hollow's rot laid bare on live TV. Tanya pulls Jamal close, her hands shaking. It's over. He's gone, her voice a whisper as blood stains her coat. Keisha's home lost but her son free. Jamal's ribs grind, his neck burns, his broken arm limp, scarred by Pruitt's fists, the mob's rope, Caldwell's hate. He's alive, acquitted, but broken, the victory hollow as 60 eyes watch. Some ashamed, some defiant. The cameras panning to Caldwell's body. Pruitt's cuffs, a town's shame broadcast wide. Agents swarm, securing the scene. Hayes nods. Pruitt's done, Jamal. Trial's next. But Jamal's gaze lingers on Caldwell, the uncle who'd rather see him dead than kin, the racist story's kingpin fallen, leaving wounds deeper than the bullets graze. Jamal Carter stands shakily outside the Pine Hollow courthouse, the afternoon sun climbing to 87 degrees Fahrenheit, its glare bouncing off the cracked pavement 2 miles from the field where a mob nearly lynched him 2 nights ago. The blood from Sheriff Dale Pruitt's bullet graze crusts on his neck. His broken left arm throbs in a sling. His ribs ache beneath a fresh t-shirt Tanya scrounged from a neighbor. His patched jeans stiff with the dirt of a racist story that's left him scarred but free after Judge Henry Caldwell's death on the bench an hour ago. His 14-year-old frame leans on Tanya Carter, her wiry form steady in her borrowed coat despite the heat, her brown eyes soft with relief as she brushes his cheek. "You're safe, baby." Her voice a quiet anchor, her braid frayed from nights in jail and the trailer's ashes half a mile away. Keisha's safe with Miss Ellie 2 blocks off. But the loss of their home lingers, a void Jamal feels in his bones. Federal agents swarm the courthouse steps, their black vests glinting as they haul Pruitt's cuffed bulk to a van, his khaki uniform bloodied at the shoulder, his pale blue eyes downcast after confessing Caldwell's reign. "He ran us all." 60. Locals dispersing, some whispering, some glaring. The live news cameras panning from the judge's corpse inside to Jamal's bruised face. The Pine Hollow justice ticker now, corruption collapses, statewide. Agent Lila Hayes approaches, her voice crisp. "Charges dropped. Pruitt's trial's next. We'll get you housing, support." Her offer firm, a lifeline after 12 hours of hell sparked by a bike ride home. But Tanya shakes her head. "We're done here. Moving north, starting fresh." Her 5'4" stance unyielding, her gaze fixed on Jamal. "Ain't letting this town take more." Jamal nods, his hazel eyes hard. He pulls the crumpled photo from his pocket. Tanya beside his dad, Caldwell's brother, the family tie that broke the judge, but not the hate, and tosses it to the ground. "Family's what I choose, not him." His voice hoarse, steady as he stomps it into the dirt, the paper tearing under his sneaker, rejecting the blood that damned him more than it saved. Tanya squeezes his hand. "Let's go, Keisha's waiting." And they turn, limping toward a borrowed truck from Miss Ellie, 50 yards off. The courthouse fades behind, 60 eyes fading with it, Pruitt's cuffs clanking as he's shoved. Into the van, his confession a tombstone for Caldwell's empire of drugs, bribes, and racist lies that framed Jamal with theft, arson, cocaine, nearly hanged him live. Jamal's ribs grind, his neck burns, his broken arm a dead weight. He's free, acquitted, the 5 years, then 20, erased. But the scars run deep. Pine Hollow's hate, a shadow he'll carry north. Hayes watches. "You sure? No aid?" "But," Tanya's firm, "we'll make our own way." Her voice a vow as they climb in, the truck rumbling to life, Keisha's future ahead, not here. They pull out, dust swirling, the town shrinking. Jamal's breath steadies, Tanya's hand on the wheel, a new road north to Mobile, maybe Birmingham, anywhere but Pine Hollow's ashes. But a courier steps from an SUV, 50 miles later, at a gas station, the air cooling to 80 degrees as dusk nears, thrusting an envelope into Jamal's hands, official seal glinting. Inside, Caldwell's will, scrawled before his heart gave out, naming Jamal Carter, nephew, heir to $3 million. A fortune from decades of dirty cash, a cruel gift from a dead uncle who'd ordered his ruin. Jamal stares, the paper trembling. Blood from his grazed neck stains the edge, his chest tight. Tanya gasping, "What's that?" He crumples it, tossing it to the pavement. "Nothing I want. His money's poison." His voice firm. A rejection sharper than the noose. The racist story's final lash, a wealth he'll never touch. Justice won, but tainted, a hollow echo of the fight that cost his home, his bones, nearly his life. Tanya nods. We don't need it. Got each other. Her eyes steady as she restarts the truck, Keisha's crayons rattling in the back. They drive off, the envelope fluttering in the dust. $3 million ash like the trailer, Jamal's. Gaze forward, free but haunted. The racist story closed with a twist that redefines family, not blood, but choice. Jamal Carter's 12-hour ordeal in Pine Hollow unveils a brutal truth. Racism isn't just personal hate. It's a system, from Pruitt's cuffs to Caldwell's gavel, designed to crush the innocent like 14-year-old Jamal, accused of theft, arson, and drugs he never touched. This racist story shows how prejudice festers in power. Pruitt's planted evidence, Caldwell's mob orders, a town's silence, each layer stripping Jamal's humanity, his broken arm, and burned home testaments to a hate that spares no one, not even kin. Yet resilience shines. Jamal's defiance, wielding a photo to expose Caldwell as his uncle, cracked a tyrant's reign, proving one voice can rattle a corrupt machine, even when family betrays. Caldwell's tainted blood, rejection a wound deeper than any rope. The mob's noose, Live on Air, reveals racism's public face, countered only by federal force, not local will. Justice came, acquittal won, but at a cost. Tanya's resolve to flee north, Jamal's burned photo, a rejection of Caldwell's. Millions show family isn't blood, it's choice, earned through loyalty, not legacy. Caldwell's death, Pruitt's fall mark a hollow victory. Systemic rot lingers, scars don't fade. But Jamal's stand teaches us. Fight, even when the odds stack high, because truth can topple empires, though it may leave you broken, did. Jamal's choice to ditch that inheritance surprise you? Comment below, hit like if this racist story's fight for justice hit hard, and subscribe and share to keep these tales alive. We need your voice. Thanks for riding this wild journey with us. Your support fuels these stories. Here's to rising above hate, stay fierce, and never let the system silence you.